Hi, I'm Andrew, an entrepreneur and a computer science student,
Hi, I'm Raveen, a psychology major student.
and you're now listening to the Ink Thoughts podcast, where we ponder and talk about incongruous thoughts ranging from our daily life to the human mind.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Ink Thoughts podcast. How are you, Andrew?
Hello, Vareen. It's been. I think my weeks are getting a bit busier. Yeah. So now that I guess I'm lucky that I've gotten my schedule under control. I guess kind of like 80%. So now like there's like actually assignments is coming in already. So yeah, it's getting busier. And then like one thing I hate is that because you always look forward to weekends. Of course, you look forward to weekends, but then the thing is, as you look forward to weekends, it means that the next week is closing in. So when another week is closing in, it means that either you have new assignments or that your deadline is approaching. So yeah, it's like a very conflicting thing. So yeah, it's happy at the same time it's sad. I mean, like I don't know, like the one thing is like you always feel that things are very far and very hard when you look at it now, like you look into the future. But then when you look back from the future, you just see that, wow, damn, like I'm impressed that I've done that. Like it's like it's so fast, like it just passed so fast and all that. So yeah, and a fun thing is that I ordered the Pixel 6 and then I'm looking forward for it to arrive next week, and then I'll have to write a script to review it. Like the fun part is like the Pixel 6 arriving, but then the sad part is, oh shit, I have to review it, man. I have to write a script and then think of how to record everything. So yeah, like everything has a good and bad to it, yin and yang, something like that. I mean that's something I'm coming to accept it. Like everything has a balance. So yeah, like this is pretty much my week, I guess. Yeah, my new philosophy trying to accept that. Yeah, all this. Yeah.
That's all?
Yeah. That's all. I don't think I have that much to share this week. Yeah, but I'll probably share more towards like related to this topic. Yeah, because it's like related to what has happened.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. For me, I think the week is, as usual, quite busy. Yeah. And then sometimes things happen unexpectedly that just messed up my schedule, and I need to accept it and just work on it, or else my stuff is not going to be done. And yeah,
okay, I understand.
That's the one thing that I've learned from this job. Just accept when things come, and definitely things will happen out of your control, and just accept it and work on it.
I mean, same lah. Actually,
things can be solved in the future.
Yeah, actually, the same thing for me. Like I still have this habit of procrastinating, and then I really shouldn't do that, because when I do that, things just get piled up, and then like it just affects all the other stuff in the future. Like you can either choose to be busy now or like be very busy in the future. So yeah, like this is something that I'm trying to learn as well. I mean, like I know the challenges, but then I just haven't got myself into overcoming these challenges yet.
Yeah, like I tell you just now, I don't even dare to take a leave, because if I take a leave, then there's so much thing that I need to do on the next day, or like in the next week. Yeah.
Okay.
And when unexpected things happen, and there's too much for me to finish in just one day.
Understand. I can understand that. That's why like now as well. I mean, back then I kind of have more flexibility, because after setting my schedule, I know that I have quite a lot of time. If I don't do this, I can like just get some of them done, because next week I have a lot of empty spaces. But now I really don't have much empty spaces, and if I do have more entertainment and all that, yes, it will just affect my whole process and everything. So yeah, same case for you. I'm having the same case as you.
Yeah, but I do have a quite good morning for this morning, because after I taught your sister, then we are like chit-chatting for 1.5 hours.
Okay. Yeah. I was quite surprised when you said that, but then like I was also surprised when you told me that that is like your story. Like the story like literally ends when you say, "Oh yeah, we had to chat for like 1 hour." Like I'm like, that's it? That's it, a story? I mean like it's quite a surprising thing. But I thought like you talk further about it.
Yeah, I think that's all for our like live updates.
Yeah, indeed. I think
Okay.
it's a lot shorter. Yeah, it's a lot shorter.
So,
We just got it done in 5 minutes. I think previously it took like 10 minutes, even 20. I think at one point. But yeah, this is quite a short one.
Okay, so what are we going to discuss today?
All right. Today we are discussing about something interesting. So the topic is our life mistakes and have we learned from them? Yeah, exactly. So I believe in life we have made a ton of mistakes, and the good thing about making mistakes is that you will like firsthand experience the mistake, and therefore you know why you shouldn't do this again, or like how to approach this thing again. So, but the thing is, like we've made mistakes and all this, but many of us just repeat the mistakes over and over again, even though we've done them. So today we're just gonna go in depth, look at what mistakes we've done, and have we actually learned from them. Yes. Would you like to start, Vereen?
Okay, maybe I can share the most recent experience that I have in regards to making mistakes. It's actually related to my work. So, because we have like drivers who help us to fetch our patients, and so I actually inserted the wrong address. And then when the driver reached the house, and yeah, we found out that that's not the place that he's supposed to go.
Okay.
Yeah. And that actually frightened me out because that's the first time I'm doing that, and yeah, I don't know what will happen.
Okay.
But then after that everything is solved, and yeah, my supervisor didn't like scold me. She talks in a very good way. Yeah. Telling me everything can be solved as soon as things have not gone into a more worse condition or anything. Yeah, she's very nice. Yeah. Then actually after that, whenever I'm inserting any address or contact number or anything, I make sure I double check.
Okay.
Because that can, if it's just about myself, then it's okay. But the mistake is affecting others, then I don't think it's okay to be repeated.
Okay, understand. All right.
Yeah, but this is just a very small one.
Yeah, this is a very tiny one. I was gonna talk about that. Like this doesn't really sound like a life mistake.
Yeah. I know.
So yeah, do you have any like life mistakes?
I'll say life. Actually, procrastination is the thing. Yeah. I can relate to during my secondary school time. I told before that I was a secretary for prefect board, and then sometimes there's just some stuff that you need to do. But I think because I procrastinated, and so in the end, the outcome is not that good. Yeah. So I actually feel, I have the feeling that I should have done better at the end of when I'm going to terminate my service.
But what is the mistake there? Because like you just think that you didn't do enough well. Like there's no specific mistake that you're talking about. So what is the mistake that you actually made?
I remember there was once one of the teacher, she asked me to do some paperwork, but then she said there's no deadline for that. So I started doing that, but throughout the process I procrastinated, and so I slowly forget about it. And then one day she came to me and asked, "Where's the thing?" Then I realized, oh, I forget about that and I don't have that. Then I need to rush everything out for her. And I believe she's not very satisfied with that.
Okay, understand. I understand that.
Yeah. And so, after that, when it's the same thing for me again, during my secretary time in university, I try to make sure at least when there's a deadline, I have to finish before the deadline. So I don't exceed any deadline. I have to finish before that.
All right.
You?
I mean, if we're talking about directly, all this life mistakes wise, yeah, I have a few, and then I would like to start. Yeah, let's start with something when I was young. So, yeah, I think when I was young, maybe because I was the only child for quite some time before I even get a cousin. Then only I get like my first sibling. So maybe because of that, and because everyone treated me quite nicely, pampered me, something like that. So I got a bit arrogant. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that's a life mistake, but the mistake comes when I entered primary school, and subsequently high school. That made me realize that it actually it led me into many mistakes. So yeah, I'm thinking that being arrogant, thinking that you are right most of the time, people are wrong, whatever, like you are like above others, and then others should obey you and all that. Yeah, so that's like the many things that has happened. And yeah, it was only like literally I think in the university stage where I kind of start to realize that, I kind of start to understand this thing about, if everybody hates you, if most people hate you, the problem isn't everybody else's anymore. It's most likely that it's your problem. So yeah, like I think the main mistake here isn't me being arrogant, but not having enough self-awareness and then being a bit stubborn. So not enough self-awareness and being quite stubborn. That's why I couldn't really understand people's opinion and advice. And then I just didn't know that I'm in this condition. Therefore, I'll say like this, like one of my life mistakes. And I've said that I've learned from it, and now I'm, well, there's two ways that I learned from it. Now I'm just like a bit more cautious, but this cautiousness also led to more, I think, like less. I mean, it led to me being taking less risk, all that. So, but I think it's good. So I think it's good towards that, because like taking less risk and being less arrogant and less like having the less arrogant behavior is a lot better, so that I can like think through things before I actually act on it. So I'll say this is like my youngest life mistakes that I've made. So yeah, like being arrogant and then like not having enough self-awareness and being too stubborn on things. So but I'm glad that I've grew out of it, grew out of most of it, I would say, hopefully. But yeah, like after that, the second stage, because this actually lasted quite a long, this arrogant part like lasted throughout from my I think even in kindergarten all the way up to university. It's like at university stage where I kind of realized this thing here. Then I kind of change, try to improve, because I know that in order to succeed in the world, of course you can't do it this way. Even if you can, you shouldn't really do it, because it's not a nice thing to do. So yeah, like this like the first life mistakes I made. Second, our thing is actually procrastination as well. Procrastination, I kind of I mean, like I've a lot of a lot of life mistakes related to procrastination. Like
The pain for everyone.
yeah. So it ranges from very, very small things. Okay, small things are not really life mistake, but procrastination do lead to like small things like between your friends. Like those are not really essential, but then like there are greater things where it just like affects your grades, affects your work and everything. Yeah, even affected when I was doing my business, when I was like running my YouTube, my YouTube, all this. But I'll say like the biggest one might be for my business, like procrastination. I think that's why it kind of led. Okay, there's two things. Procrastination. One thing is that because that you don't want to do that thing, but that thing could be either very important or it could be like, meh, it's not that important. I guess in that case, I'll say that because the company growth isn't really that important for me. That's why I didn't really go ahead and do all the other stuff that I've done. I mean, I did it, but along later. Like I procrastinated for like weeks before I actually decided to act on that. So yeah, like those stuff is bad. And even now, but I'll say that this is life mistake which I'm still growing out from. I like the saying that from Ali that motivation is a myth. We just have to get ourselves to be disciplined and do it. But yeah, I still like to see that I say that I still need the motivation to do stuff. I don't know, man. It's just hard sometimes. Yeah. Okay. Most of the time, I think that it's just because I'm starting something new. I have the fear that I might like ruin it up or something. I'm not sure if it's imposter syndrome. So yeah, like that's the main reason why it's stopping me from like doing it straight away and then procrastinate on it. But yeah, I'm still like trying to find ways because like even today I have very important stuff to do as well. Like later I will need to work on my project proposal and even like plan my videos. Yeah. And there's another chain reaction, you know. Once you don't do this one thing and then you pile up more tasks onto your table, I don't know, it makes you feel like you don't want to do them even more because like I guess it makes you worried and all that, and like, oh fuck man, I have so many things to do, like shit, like my life is ruined, something like that, and then you just end up like binge watching some show or something, some YouTube, like just to make you feel better, and then you end up wasting more time. So yeah. I mean, it's a complicated thing. So yeah, I'll just start with sharing these two life mistakes first. Like first one is like all this arrogance that causes my lack of self-awareness and stubbornness. Yeah, that is a thing. Yeah, which I believe I've overcome most of it. And then secondly, this procrastination thing, like wow man, I'm still suffering from it. I am still suffering from it. Yeah. Like this is like the big things. One which I've learned from, and one which I have yet to learn from. Yeah. Like yet to kind of, I mean I guess I know the importance of not procrastinating. But then it's just hard to like it relates to too many stuff, and then like in all this stuff, it's just hard for you to make sure that you don't do that. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least
I believe like all of us know the importance of not procrastinating, but at the end of the day we still do that.
Yeah, I hate that, you know, like oh my god, like how?
Yeah.
How can I like find a solution to that? How to not procrastinate? Yeah, damn. But yeah, like is there any other more significant life mistakes on your side?
Yeah, this I thought of one, which is also during my secondary school. I was a student reporter of an organization outside, right? I told you before. And so during that time, I actually faced a huge problem. Okay, during that time, that's a huge problem, but now that I look back, nah.
Things just looks a lot smaller when we look back at it. But one reason is because it's solved. So yeah, like
Yeah.
like that time when it's not solved, definitely we amplify it by like 100 times or something. Like seeing that it's very hard, now that it's solved, like yeah, we can like easily, we have the solution, so it's not that hard anymore. Okay, continue.
Yeah, so during our term of service is actually for 1 year. So at the beginning of the year is the new starting of academic style, because we are moving on to like science stream kind of stuff. And so during the first exam, it's not that bad, but I know there's some dropping in my result. But that time I know part of the reason is that I'm still not used to the methods that they are assessing us.
Okay.
But then moving on to middle of the year, wow, my result dropped again. And that time, my parents are really disappointed on me.
Okay.
They are so angry at me, and they scolded me and say they will no longer allow me to go to any activities for student reporter. Yeah, I actually cried, and I'm kind of like helpless. I don't know what to do. I know. I should have like tried to manage my time and ensure everything works well, because my what is it called? My responsibility that time is a student. So that's the first thing that I should ensure first before I do anything else. Yeah. So I was feeling very sad, and then I started to since my parents don't even allow me to go for any activities related to that, then but it still takes a very long time for me to like catch up on my study.
Okay.
And that's the thing that after that from that I actually learned that if you manage everything well at the beginning, then it won't lead you to something like this in the end.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, understand.
And I can never forget how my parents look when they are so disappointed on me.
Okay. I understand. I can understand. I can totally understand that. All right. Wow. Yeah.
You? Anything else?
Yeah. I'll just share about like the one that's like recently the most recent one. Yeah, the one that literally just happened yesterday. I didn't really share just now because I just want to put it directly into the podcast. So this is like a very simple one. Life mistakes. Yeah, I mean like actually all these mistakes are good. Just that we have to learn from it. So I guess those that we haven't learned from it, we have to work hard to it, because like making mistakes in life is like essential, so that you actually learn from it, you improve from it. You shouldn't really dwell on that all the mistakes you have made. Instead, you learn from it, you appreciate it, and then you know what you're gonna do. So now you know what you're gonna do when the next time you actually face it. So the one which I faced, the one which I faced is actually I got scammed. Yeah, I got scammed. I actually forgot when's the first time I got scammed. What's the first time I got scammed? I actually forgot. I have actually no idea. Yeah.
2020?
Pardon, what?
2020?
Yeah, I'm thinking if there's anything earlier than that. I'm wondering if there's anything earlier than that. So yeah, like in my memory, actually, no, I don't think there's anything earlier than that. But because that's like my first major one. So yeah, like that's the first time I got scammed, because I think it was during 2020, beginning of the MCO. Wait, no, that's like actually the end of the first MCO. It's like closer to the end of the first MCO, and then Nintendo Switch was a very, very hot commodity. Called commodity because like people literally trading Nintendo Switch, and then the price was like spiking. It was like I think 30 ringgit markup from its original price. So it's like, it was crazy, and then everyone was looking for a unit because like they have nothing to do at home. That's why. So I not just that I wanted to get one, but I want to earn money from it as well. So I just want to join in the trading because I have some experience like buying used stuff and new stuff. Yeah, so that's what I did, and I like the simple thing to like buy and sell stuff, like literally you just look at what's cheap and then you buy it and then you sell it at the higher price, or you like somehow add value to it, like maybe include some different stuff to make it more valuable, something like that. So that's what I did. I searched up a few very cheap ones and then I contacted them. I paid them, and yeah, like it was like a day later which I found out that I got scammed from two of them, and then another one is like a week later. Yeah, it was like quite upsetting. So that at that part, because at that moment, those money are quite essential to me. Like those are a big chunk of my life savings, like maybe 10-20%, I think 10-20% so that was a huge amount. And yeah, I was very sad, I was very upset, but I did told my parents. I'm quite glad that my parents are okay. They just like, yeah, they didn't really blame me for anything. Like, it's a process. Yeah, so that happened. I made a police report, and then yeah, I know how I should be more cautious about all this stuff. And then I guess not to like try to find all these easy ways to like earn money. I mean, it's not really an easy way, but then yeah, like I'll consider like it's like kind of easy way-ish lah, like easier way lah. Like yeah, like of course there's like and another thing, when things are too good to be true, it may be, it may be. Yeah. So but it's from all this experience that I kind of built my business, and then yeah, like I ended up who I am today. So when I look back, that like it's an insignificant part of my life, but it builds a very very significant achievement in my life, building my company. But still, like that's considered a life mistake, and yes, I thought I've learned from it until like yesterday, which I got scammed again, and this time in the UK, which is a bit embarrassing, and then a bit sad as well, of course. But now that I've thought through it, yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's fine. let's just let it go, because this time is actually different. Last time I was like buying stuff, so like I transferred money and then the item didn't arrive. This time I'm selling stuff and I got scammed. It's very funny, but yeah. The thing is like something you have to watch out, because I use bank transfer, so I sold the item and then the guy was like transferring in front of me, but then he was using a fake bank transfer app, and then because like I thought in the UK, I'm not that familiar with the banking system in UK, so I know that it takes up to 2 hours, but I didn't know that most of the time it's like it should be instantaneous. So yeah, it didn't arrive initially, but like, okay, yeah, it was a nice guy. We actually met up and everything, but then yeah, like hours later, it didn't arrive, and then like today, I woke up today and then like yeah, it's still not here. So I'm like, okay, I got scammed. But yeah, I got scammed. Like there's a lot of things I can do. I can like dwell on it. I can like go find that guy or something. I have his number, something like that. But then I just did whatever that I can do with minimal, like not too much effort, not excess effort. So I just like made a police report, and then yeah, that's it actually. I don't think I'll go further into this, but like I'm quite upset that like yeah, I should have been more cautious. I should have done more. I should like because I've been doing this like buying and selling business for like at least 2-3 years, something like that, and seriously doing for 1 year. So I thought I'm quite an expert to it. So I kind of let my guard down, and then yeah, this happened. But yeah, through this experience, I think this will be actually I'll split this into two life experience. Like last time when I got scammed, that's like one. This one is another one. Like it taught me not to like let my guard down ever when we are doing something. Yeah. And then another thing is that I do learn that yeah, now I'll just like instead, because like when you got scammed, there's actually two things that you're learning from it. First is that you are not supposed to you're supposed to learn how not to get scammed again using the same method, since this is what you faced. And then the second thing is that how to deal with the feeling after you got scammed, because many people would just dwell on it and then like think that, oh my god, like I should have been so dumb, or hate on that guy or something like that, and that would just negatively affect your mental health and even in some case your health. So that is actually very bad. Like I mean, you lose all that money that may be quite important to you, but then don't let yourself lose more stuff, something like that. So you've already lost something. So yeah, like it's make sure that you get better instead of you get hurt even more. That's why. So this time I'm quite lucky that this time the money isn't that significant to me, since my life savings has increased and everything. So it's a lot smaller chunk than it was like in 2020. So I'm okay with it, and I'm like just like, yeah, I've done a simple police report and anything. It's hard for them to find it back, so yeah, it's fine. Like just let it go. Like just let it be an experience and see how it goes. Yeah, something like that. So I just want to share this. Yeah, another life mistakes which I've made. Yeah, because like the another thing I think this will be kind of insight as well is that because we always dwell on how to get the money back. Like, oh my god, we lost that money. How better would it be if we can get that money back? But the thing is, we should look back at our own value, not like values, but the value that we're able to create. Because like everyone has you are capable of something, and then that capability allows you to create value. That's why your boss hires you. That's why you can make money outside, something like that. Like you're turning your ability into value for someone else, and then they are paying you for it. So when you're trying to go and get that money back, you are just trying to retrieve back the value, or like trying to how do I say it? Take back the value that you lost. But instead of like wasting so much effort to get, like, you know that of course that the value that won't increase. Like not like it's keep increasing, and then one day when you get it back it's like more than those value you lost. So you know that won't actually happen. So instead of doing that, why not you just go on your normal life and then continue creating more value? Yeah, maybe using this experience, or like using your existing ability instead of dwelling on this, spending so much time getting a value that you know that for sure it's not going to increase. It may even decrease, something like that. So yeah, that's what I've learned, and now like, yeah, like just let's just do it this way, since yeah, it's not worth it to just like pursue the path to like get it back, something like that. Yeah, so basically this like third life mistakes. I think this three thing is like the main three life mistakes which I have made and then I remember in life. Yeah,
that like getting scammed is actually quite sad. And it just happened like yesterday. But I quite like how you're dealing with it, you know.
I mean, cause I understood a lot of stuff. It depends on my emotions, or my work, or my subsequent. Yeah, because I really have a lot of things depends on my mindset and my emotions. My final year project, my subsequent, all my gym workouts, everything, my YouTube, even today podcast. Yesterday I was even thinking like, yeah, should I like just call off today's podcast and then just like have a chat with you? We just want to cool down, something like that. But then I thought through it. I'm like, because the main reason that I would call off a podcast is just that I want to spend those time dwelling on that thing. Like when I'm chatting to you, I'm still dwelling on that thing. That's why I would like to call off that podcast. So I am still putting the focus onto that thing. So you can see that if I just put a simple focus on that thing, I would like waste so much of my potential. I wouldn't have done this podcast. I wouldn't have continued working on my FYP stuff because I just want to research like, oh, how can I potentially get the money back?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have like created my YouTube videos or even go to the gym because I'll be wasting so much effort maybe hating that guy or like trying to find ways to like lodge a police report, like track that guy down or something. But then like I know for sure if I do all this podcasting, YouTube, FYP, it can generate a whole lot more value in the long term compared to what I've lost. So yeah, that is like, of course you still from time to time when you think about, oh my god, the money lost in my bank account, you still feel sad about it. But then it's like a process, it's a work in progress, and you need to think that, oh, like what I'm talking to right now, it makes me happy because I know that I'm like sharing value, and then like we are learning together, all this, and then we're actually creating something. It's a fun thing. So like thinking about all this stuff, like just makes me think that like it's fine. All this stuff are giving more value than that thing which I've lost. And then I for sure know that I can easily earn back that money. Of course, you can as well. Just that, of course, like next time be more careful, and then maybe I shouldn't like pursue all this simpler path of like trying to earn money, something like that. like by trading and all that. So yeah, like it's various life mistakes, and then like I've learned. I hope that I will fully learn from them, but that I mean like there's no one time in life that you kind of know all the knowledge, so you will still make mistake in the future. So just hope that another good thing is that it's good that I make the mistake now, because if I make it now, I lose like a smaller chunk of money and all that. So it's fine. Like my friend as well, one of my friend, I don't want to reveal his name because I'm not sure if he's fine with like me sharing all this, but he lost like quite a huge chunk of money in the stock market, and then because I guess he was a bit greedy, and then he didn't really study a market, and the price just kept dropping. It thought that it's a good opportunity to go into market, because like buy low, sell high, like that's what everybody thinks. But in fact, it's like a quite a big thing that happened to a company. That's why the price kept dropping, and that's why when he liquidated, he lost like 5 digits amount of money, and he had like 3 days to reflect on himself, but and he learned from it. Like something like that. So it's and the thing we talk about is that it's better for us to like make the mistakes now, because like who knows, like if you didn't have this mistake and then you've gone successful, 10 years later you have like, let's say 100 times more money, and then you threw all of them into this mistake, which will happen, and then it happened, and the loss will be greater by that point. So like all these mistakes, definitely there is some value from it, and you don't lose. You don't really lose everything. You lose something, but then not everything. You actually gain from it. You gain things from the mistakes. So like that's how I look from it. Like like the major life mistakes.
Actually, when the first time that I heard the story of the friend, I quite like how he the first thing that he do is to use 3 days to reflect on himself. You know, some people when they lose money, this is not the thing that they are doing. They're blaming the whole world first, and then in the end they're not learning anything from it.
I understand. Totally understand. I quite like that. I actually thought of that also. I was like thinking, should I take some time to like just sit down and reflect on this? But then when I think about it, the money is not such a big thing for me. It's not really worth that much, and then like I can easily just get through it like by now. Like, it's fine, something like that. But I am quite impressed by that friend also. Like, the ability that you can just like sit down and reflect, thinking that it's your fault. Like he has sufficient self-awareness to do that.
True.
That's really cool.
It's actually not easy to do that, especially when you're not in a very good emotional state.
That's true. But one thing I think especially when you make mistakes, I think it's good to share with others as well, whether or not you have figured out a solution, just so that if you haven't figured out a solution, telling someone might be able to help you with figuring out one solution or more solution. But if you have found a solution, it's okay to share, because first thing first, you have learned something. It's good to share how you deal with it. Second thing is that you might be able to find more solution. Like even though you kind of have a solution already, there might be a better solution out there, something like that. So like all these life mistakes or even like small mistakes, it's cool to share with others. I think one thing that especially Asian don't like sharing is because all the judgment from others, or like how parents blame us for it. But I think in the newer society, we still need to accept that there are people like that, and then if there are people like that, we just kind of ignore them because they are not bringing positivity into our life. But otherwise, I believe most of the people just don't do this anymore, I think.
I think sharing is quite a good thing also, and at the same time it also helps you to feel better when you're trying to express those emotions that you have.
Yes. It actually helps on your mental
But
health.
but some of the people, I'll say, I don't know, they just trying to repeat that over and over again without any reason.
Yeah.
They're just feeling that they are so pity, and they just want to keep telling the whole world, keep repeating on that. Yeah, that just not only affect him or herself in terms of mental health,
It's affecting
but also
others.
affecting the others.
Yeah.
And it's pretty annoying.
I think those people are basically they dwell on that issue that mistake they've made, and then I think they're not willing to change. They don't really think it's their fault. That's why they keep talking about it over and over again. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. So we kind of, I guess we just deal with life mistakes. But okay, I think one thing, because we talked about our life mistakes, and then we talked about like how should we deal with life mistakes when we have them, and do you have any other more life mistakes you want to share before I head on to the other topic?
To be honest, I can't really think of any. Maybe you can just go on.
Okay. The last one I want to talk about is actually just how should we, we kind of talk, because we talk about how to deal with life mistakes, and then like whether we have solution or not, why should we share them. The final thing I think we need to talk about is how do we make sure that we learn from our life mistake, and especially for those that we haven't learned yet, like procrastination and all that. Do you have any ideas on like how can we make sure that we will learn from it?
I think, okay, let's take the procrastination as an example then. I think we are pretty aware that we are procrastinating and aware of what's the outcome that we cause because of procrastination. Maybe one thing we can do is to reflect and then go into planning instead. Yeah, if you reflect but you do nothing, then what's the point?
Okay. Guess But I think after planning, the final, I mean planning is part of the action, but then executing on the plan is one important thing as well.
Yeah.
Like
true.
one thing I do to overcome procrastination is to use a Pomodoro timer. Yeah, sometimes if I don't start the Pomodoro timer, even when I started it, when I don't have the discipline, it doesn't make the method effective as well. It just make it ineffective, and then like I end up with nothing. I end up in the beginning, something like that. Yeah. True. Very true.
Or maybe in the planning phase, you can also plan what method might be effective for a person to execute it, because everyone might have different ways that works for them, right?
I think it's a trial and error thing, because like you can't ensure what you plan is like working. Like you just like try and then see if it works. If it doesn't work, you just try again, something like that. And then eventually you kind of have settled. Yes, procrastination for me, I just have to do try and error, man. Quite a lot of things to do today, and I haven't completed them. Later I do need to work on it. And then I'm tired now, right now, I'm quite tired right now. Like, I hate that feeling, man. But I guess that's a point we'll wrap up then.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then in this case, we shall go ahead and talk about insights for the week.
Insight.
Do you have any insights?
Actually, I don't have any.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like my insight. I've kind of shared my insights lah, and like my insights are literally what I've said just now. Like yeah, like the learnings I've literally learned from this. Yeah, whatever I've learned from. Yeah, like yeah. What are the main points from it? Yeah, like we have more ability than whatever we have lost. So yeah, unless that whatever you have lost is so important, I think, because like one thing is risk taking also lah. So when you're taking a risk, understand your risk tolerance. If you lose all this, are you able to lose all this? Because what if you're able to lose all this, then it's fine. Then after you do lost it, you have the ability to not care about whatever you've lost. That's what I think. That's why I actually took this risk. Yeah. So I think it's important to understand your risk tolerance before taking a risk, so that losing this you won't lose your life after losing this. That's the main thing.
Exactly.
That's the main thing. So that will be my insight of the week. And then you don't have any, right?
Yeah. Just now when you mentioned about risk, I actually thought of like, if let's say someone want to borrow money from you.
Oh, that one. Okay. That's another story from you, man. That is another story from you. That's interesting.
Then yeah, if let's say the amount of money that the person is asking for is okay for you to lose everything, yeah, then I don't mind lending that person. So whenever I lend the person any amount of money, I actually have the expectation that maybe I won't be getting it back. So if I'm okay with that, then I'll do that. But yeah, there's this small story happening. I don't know what happened to this friend, and it happened that some of the so-called company, they are finding us who are his friend to ask us to find him out and ask him to pay back to those company. I don't know what happened, and it affects us in terms like it's annoying, like receiving this kind of messages. But so far, there's nothing bad happening. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes.
Okay. I mean, this is another thing. Yeah, I think my opinion is different when it comes to borrowing money to people, especially friends. Yeah, because the thing is, when I borrow to friends, I don't just look into the money factor, whether they'll pay back. I look into another thing, is that the emotion investment. Because when we're borrowing money to our friends, we are not just investing in our money, we're investing in our emotion as well. It's because we trust this friend, that's why we borrow them money. Yeah. If they happen to not return the money, it's not just that we lose the money, we lose our mental health as well. Yeah. So therefore, I don't really, I like it. You kind of lose trust in your friendship and all that, like him something. So I only really borrow money to people who I really trust, so that yeah, because I know that I'm investing all my emotions with it. I don't want to like trust like borrow money to someone which I trust a bit, don't trust a bit, and then every time I worry about whether this is a trustworthy friend or not, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's why. So it's a different thing for me. I look into this factor as well. Yeah.
You actually reminded me of one thing. I think a few years ago when I just graduated from high school, one of my friends actually asked me if I can borrow her some money.
Okay.
Yeah. I think a few hundred. So that time she was not willing to tell the whole story of what's happening. Yeah. But I know it's somehow related to her workplace that time. And so at that time, yeah, I wasn't rich at all. I just graduated, and how much can I have?
Okay. Yeah.
Then even a few hundred can mean a lot to me.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah, at that stage, yes. Totally.
Yeah. Then then that time I was thinking, should I not, because I kind of saw or heard something from her, not directly, that she was saying that I'm so thankful for this friend, which is another person that helped me so much, even though when she first asked, then the person helped her. Yeah. I think this thing happened after I borrow her money. Yeah, but before that, I have this kind of feeling as well. I'm thinking that if I don't borrow her the money, will she think that I'm not taking her as friend or anything?
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I don't know why in the past I care so much about all this. I was thinking about all this, and in the end, I decided to borrow her an amount that, although I still feel sad if I don't get it back, but it's still okay for me to lose.
Okay.
But in the end, she actually give me back the money. Just that she takes, I think, half year.
Yeah, that's the thing. I that's why I only borrow to trusted personnel, because I don't want that emotional investment which will affect me in the long term. That's the thing. Yeah. So okay, that's a pretty good insight. Right, I guess that's it for this podcast then.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, you know what to do. You're hosting this episode, man.
Okay. Thank you everyone for listening, and do check out our social media and also our YouTube channel as well. And we'll what I wanted to say? Oh, okay. There's nothing I wanted to say. See you all next time.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed, do share with your friends and family and leave us a review on the Apple Podcast. If you are not using an Apple device, you can leave a review on the Apple Podcast website with a link in the show notes. If you have any feedback or thoughts which you hope that we'll discuss in the future, feel free to email them to us at hello@incthoughts.com, or alternatively, you can send us a private message on our Facebook, Instagram or Twitter with the username of incthoughtspod. Thanks again, and see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Alright, okay. I mean, it's quite an okay episode. I guess it's got a bit serious. Actually never thought it would be that serious though. Yeah. I never thought it would be that serious. Yeah, it just feels a bit serious after that. Got a bit.
Maybe because of the story that we're sharing.
Yeah. I think because of the story. I thought it'd be a quite casual topic, like we will learn from it. Did we learn from it something like that? But I know it got a bit serious. Yeah, funny though. Right. Anything else you want to share? Anything you want to talk about?
No.
I guess
No more.
then we'll just end it here lah.
Okay.